Marc Palahi, welcome. I'm Friar Giulio, and I'm in charge of the communication office here at the Basilica of St. Francis. We have a magazine, a monthly magazine, St. Francis, and we are happy to host you as our guest in the next issue to dialogue with you about the environment, about your commitment for a better economy in the world, and in order to listen from you if St. Francis is a sort of inspiration for your work.
Thank you very much.
Really welcome. Marc Palahi, you come from Spain, you are Catalan, but after a few years in the EU, you went to the United Kingdom to work with the King. Present us your work, your experience. Where does your love for the environment come from?
Yes. A pleasure to be with all of you here. I am a scientist, so my career in the last 25 years have been devoted to study forest, understanding ecology, but understanding ecology as basis for building a better economy that prospers in harmony with nature, which is contrary to the existing economy, which is an economy addicted to fossil resources, to consumption at all costs, that has failed to value our most important capital, which is nature. And because our current economy is out of harmony with nature, now we are facing all these risks related to climate change, biodiversity loss, and our economy is suffering. But my love for nature comes since I was very young. I used to spend the summer times in the Pyrenees. I have family in the Pyrenees, so I love very much the rural life, walking in the forest, seeing the agriculture. And so since I was very little, I thought I want to study and work around nature, agriculture, etc. And then I met the king when he was the Prince of Wales around 9 years ago as a scientist. And King Charles, since the time he was Prince of Wales, have been always advocating for harmony, for restoring harmony between humanity, nature, and the environment, and for the need to build a new economy. And then is when he established the Circular Bioeconomy Alliance, and he asked me to take the lead on that charity, to demonstrate through projects on the ground, and I can tell you more later, how we can translate this harmony vision of an economy that operates within the ecology of our planet, within the regenerative capacity of the planet, in practice on the ground through real projects.
It's interesting what you are saying. You are speaking about a new way of conceiving economy that is in harmony with nature. We are more or less used to the word sustainability, no? Which is more or less goes in the same direction, I suppose. It's interesting because just yesterday I was in a congress and there was an astronaut that was present. And he revealed to me, not just to me, to all of us who were present there, that the goal, the very idea for going to the moon is to bring resources, because the world is not enough for this kind of economy. There are two different ways of tackling the same problem, the lack of resources you were speaking about.
Yes.
You are proposing a new concept, a new idea, a reform, can we say, a reformation?
Exactly.
And there is another way of conceiving an answer, a response to this problem with getting new resource from another world. Would you comment what I'm saying?
Yes. For me, it's very clear. We have the most beautiful planet in the world, and nature is what makes this planet special in the universe. Yeah. And I mean, what we need is to understand that economy and ecology are two sides of the same coin. And by the way, the two words originate from the same Greek word, oikos, which means home and environment. Economy, nomos, means managing the environment. Ecology, logos, understanding the environment. You cannot manage what you don't understand.
Indeed.
So a circular bioeconomy is a new economic paradigm that recognizes that our world economy needs to be guided, needs to follow the ecology of the planet. We need to build an economy that simply prospers within the ecological boundaries of the planet.
Because we are part of it. I mean,
Exactly, we are part of it, and therefore our economy cannot cross the planetary boundaries like it is doing now. And one of the reasons is that if you look at our current economy, is powered by fossil resources. Fossil means death. Bio means life. So we need to build an economy that is powered by life and runs with what the biosphere provides us.
Super.
And this is why you need a new paradigm, and you need to adjust all our business models, the products that we use now. For example, for most of materials, we use plastics, which is again coming from fossils. It's a non-renewable. And we need to replace all these fossil resources by biological solutions that can be produced in a renewable way. But to do that, we need to use circular business models where there is no waste. And we need to tackle, and this is where San Francis is an inspiration, we need to tackle the addiction to consumption. We cannot continue consuming more and more and more. Per capita, every year we consume more and more resources, more products. And this doesn't make any sense. So we need to translate now knowledge, not into technology, like the astronauts are doing, because technology is not the problem. The problem that we have is here. So it's translating knowledge into wisdom.
Indeed.
And here, San Francis is an inspiration. Austerity, living with harmony with nature.
Okay.
Not getting happiness through consumption, but through experiencing nature.
Wow.
Reconnecting back to nature. So I think what we need is a paradigm shift.
Super.
No, it's a mindset change.
It's a cultural change.
It's a cultural change.
Wow, wonderful. And in our perspective, in the social doctrine of the church, all the topics concerning the environment are inseparable from the goal of justice and promotion of human beings. Is it the same? Do you have the same idea?
It's the same idea, but because in this new paradigm that we want to contribute to build, this circular bioeconomy, and again, bio means life, an economy powered by life. You know, we need to see nature not as a resource to extract. This is how our existing economy sees nature. Nature is the keystone infrastructure regulating our planetary system, including our climate, the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe. So nature is the infrastructure that supports life. An economy is part of life. So this is what our economy doesn't understand, because birds, bees, trees, they don't send bills to us. You know, they provide services. So, you know, the challenge of our economy is that it has failed to value nature as what it is, the key infrastructure that supports life and our entire economy.
Super.
Not as a resource that to extract. You see, the problem is that for 200 years, we have developed this fossil economy that is based on mining. And we have translated this mining is extracting, not regenerating. And we have developed our economy a mindset of using things by extracting, using, and throwing. And we need to move to a mindset which is about regenerating, regenerating and living within the boundaries that our planet allows us to live. Not to go to the moon or other planets, you know. We have this planet, is a gift from God. We need to, it's a gift. We need to use it properly and understand how it works and adjust our economy to the planet, not the opposite. You know?
And if you go to the moon, if we have a mindset which is according to the mindset of the gift, it might be an opportunity.
Yes.
Okay, but not for mining, no?
Exactly.
No, it's very clear. Can you, in a few minutes, present a couple of experiences of this new circular economy, which even if they are maybe not yet completed, accomplished, they offer good hopes for this new model of economy?
Exactly. We have implemented many projects, but I will give you an example from agriculture, from food, because at the end, food is the basis for everything. In the last 50 years, the way we have been producing food has been in a very extractive way. Again, with this mining mindset, We have developed large monocultures. We have used synthetic fossil-based inputs, pesticides, fertilizers, because we were greedy. We wanted in short-term maximum production. But by doing that, agriculture has contributed to climate change, because we have shifted forests to agriculture, and also we have degraded our land using too much fertilizers, pesticides. Now, what we see is that many of our land systems are not any longer resilient to climate change. So many of the food production landscapes are failing, are collapsing. But we can replace this extractive agricultural mindset by a regenerative one. And that model is now tested with scientific evidence. So it's about replacing fossil inputs, fertilizers, pesticides, by biological inputs, living inputs, using nature, maximizing diversity of crops, minimizing mechanical disturbances in the soils, covering the soil as much as possible with vegetation, bringing animals and trees together. And this, now we see evidences in many of the projects we have implemented that with that type of approach, when you produce food, instead of emitting carbon greenhouses, you are absorbing carbon.
Wow.
You are holding better water resources, and you are building resilience. So when there is droughts or floods, when you have this regenerative agriculture, the soil is like an sponge. So it can better stand when there are these climatic shocks.
Wow.
And in addition, it's more profitable because once you start reducing inputs, which cost more and more money because they are based on petroleum or gas, fertilizers, pesticides, you avoid using them, you reduce cost, and you increase the profitability.
Wow.
So you see, this shows that if you understand nature and you can use nature-based solutions, ecological principles, the economy can operate much better.
Wow.
And it's more adapted to these climate shocks that are becoming more frequent.
Indeed.
In Italy, for example, we have a project in Puglia, in the south, that was funded by a company called Giorgio Armani to produce cotton in a regenerative way.
Wow.
Combining cotton crops with pistachio, with silk trees, with different types of trees. And we realized that the water efficiency of the systems are much better.
Wow.
The cotton was very good quality, so now this company is selling t-shirts made with that cotton.
Made in Italy.
Made in Italy, but
which
in
is not
a
typical.
regenerative, and in a regenerative way, in a way that you help the environment to mitigate climate change,
the economy,
support
of the
biodiversity,
people.
exactly.
Wow, super. No, really amazing. Marc, I'm very glad that you
Thank you, a
have been
pleasure.
with us.
Yes.
And you are here today because we are going to present officially today here in Assisi, in our press room, the Italian version of the book written by King Charles when he used to be Prince of Wales, Harmony. The book has been edited and printed by Avoca Edizioni here in Italy. So thank you for coming, and we will read it, and we will have, maybe we will listen from you your impression about the Italian version.
Very good.
If it fits with the English original
Very
idea.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, Julio.